Okay, so that global addressing scheme is called it as what? Logical addressing or IP address. Okay, so this IP address, the first version was IPv4. So that version was a 32-bit address, and you can have okay, that 32-bit address, you can denote it in two ways. Now, what are the two representations for denoting the IP address? Neeraj? You were there in the last class, Neeraj? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, tell, what are the two ways of representing an IP address? In what all ways you can denote it? Make it fast because 5 minutes is over now. Arimo, Neeraj. Okay, Amia, you tell. Two ways of representing the IP address.
Binary.
Yeah, binary representation and notation and yeah, Neeraj, continue. Binary and
Decimal notation, dotted decimal.
Decimal notation. Okay, now the importance of dotted decimal notation is it is more compact. So it is easier for us to read. So we are making use of dotted decimal notation. Okay. Now, also, then after that, I have just told, now this IP address, it make use of the concept of classes. So that type of addressing, you can call it as classful addressing. Okay. So classful addressing, you can have how many types of classes? Rangeet, what are the different classes in IP address? Rangeet is there? Yeah, tell. What are the different types of classes?
5
Which are they? Which are they?
A, B, C, D, E.
Class A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, and also you have learned how you have to represent it. I mean, if you are having an address, how you can easily identify to which class the address belongs. That is based upon a table, what you have seen. If the first bit of the first byte, if it is 0, in binary notation I'm telling, if it is 0, that denotes to class A. If it is starts with 10, it is class B, class E is 110. And similarly, in dotted decimal notation, if it is varying from 0 to 127, it belongs to class A. 128 to 191, it is class B, and 192 to 223, it is class C. Okay, so here only I have stopped and we have seen few problems. I hope you have worked out the corresponding binary equivalent of the problem, what I have given for you. Okay, now today we will be learning a term called network ID and host ID. So you are dealing with you are dealing with the term network ID and host ID. Now, what is this? Actually, I have told in classful addressing, you have got 5 classes, and out of the classes, class A, B, C, it is being divided it into 2 groups. One is the net ID or the network ID, and the other one is the host ID. So class A, and that length of the network ID as well as the host ID, it varies depending upon the classes. Okay, so what you can see in the diagram is in class A, you have totally 4 bytes, that is 32 bits you have got. And in class A, the first byte is used for the net ID. And the remaining 3 bytes are used as the host ID. You have to remember this concept. In class A, the first byte is used as net ID, and 3 bytes, the remaining 3 bytes are used as host ID. Okay. Now in class B, the first 2 bytes are used as network ID, and the 2 bytes are used as the host ID. Right? Now in class C, the first 3 bytes are used as net ID, and the remaining 1 byte is used as host ID. Okay, now the address in class A, B, and C, they are meant for unicast communication. They are mainly meant for unicast communication. Now, what is unicast communication? One to one. That means you are having one source and you are having one destination. So that is, if the communication is from one source to one destination, you can call it as a unicast communication. Okay, so the three classes, I mean class A, B, C, they are meant for unicast communication. Now, class D, it is meant for multicast communication. Now, multicasting means you will be having one source and you will have a group of destinations. So if you want to communicate, so in multicast address is used only as a destination address. It is not used as a source address. Source address, it will be unicast, but the destination address will be multicast. In the earlier module, I have just told about unicast, multicast, broadcast, and you have done few sums also based on that. Okay, so class D is meant for multicast communication. Now, class E, it is reserved for future use, or for some special purposes, the class E is used. Okay, understood this much? What I have told is your class A, B, C in classful addressing, it has been divided into two. One is the net ID and the other one is the host ID. So the length of that net ID and host ID, it varies depending upon the classes. Class A, 1 byte is used and 3 bytes for host ID. Class B, 2 bytes for net ID and 2 bytes for host ID. And class C, 3 bytes for net ID and 1 byte for host ID. This you have to remember. Okay, now you will have a problem in class full addressing. I told you can have two types of addressing and we were dealing with class full addressing. Class full means IP address is divided into different classes and that addressing scheme you can call it as class full addressing. Okay, now you will have a problem in this class full addressing. That is that each class is being divided into fixed number of blocks. Each class, what you have learned, is divided into fixed number of blocks. And each block will be having a fixed size. Understanding? Each class will be divided into fixed number of blocks. The blocks are not varying. You are having fixed number of blocks. And the block size is also fixed. So you can see a table here, number of blocks and block size in classful IPv4 addressing. Now look into class A address. So here you have got 128 blocks. 128 blocks means it is varying from 0 to 127. The first block will be 0, second block will be 1. So it will like that. The last block will be named as 127. So totally 128 blocks you have. The meaning is that many organizations can be provided with a class A address. Okay, now what is the block size of that? One block size will be 16,777,260. So block size is nothing but the addresses in each block. So you just imagine you are having 128 blocks and each block will be having an address 16,777,260. Okay, now out of that address, I mean, you can just see a diagram. So here in class A, so the first block, it starts from 0.0.0.0 to 0.255.255.255. You are having 128 blocks that is divided. So net 0 block, 73rd block it is shown, and 127. So total number of blocks is 128. Now what is the block size of each block will be 16,777,260. So the first block, it starts with 0.0.0.0. So if I'm denoting it that, I know class A address, the first byte denote the net ID, right? So if it is like that, what is the net ID of that? It will be 0. Okay, now the last address of the first block will be 0.255.255.255. What is the meaning is that in a particular block, the net ID is constant and the host ID varies. So it can vary from 0 to 255. So I have told class A, you have got 4 bytes, and that first byte is denoting the network ID, and the 3 bytes are denoting the host ID. So the 3 bytes can vary from 0 to 255. Understanding what is the meaning? So in class A, you have got 128 blocks, and the first block, its address is varying from 0.0.0.0 to 0 to 255.255.255. Okay, now coming back, now going on, you will have the 128 block. Okay, you are representing it as 0 to 127. So look on to the last block. Now the last block will be having an address varying from 127.0.0.0 to 127.255.255.255. Now what is the network ID here in class A? Which byte denotes the net ID? In class A, which?
First byte.
Yeah, first byte. So what is the address of that, and what is the net ID of that last block? It will be 127. Okay, so that 127 is constant in a block. Net ID remains the same, but the host ID is varying from 0 to 255. All the 3 bytes can vary from 0 to 255. The meaning is each block can occupy 16,777,216 addresses. Understanding what is the meaning of that? Now, in this diagram, you have shown, one particular block is highlighted, that is 73.0.0.0. And the block size is varying from 73 to 73.255, 255, 255. So that block is assigned to an organization. Suppose out of the 128 blocks, one block is assigned for a particular organization. Okay, now if it is assigned like that, usually always the first address is acting as the network address. You have to remember all these things. So the first address is nothing but the network address. So what is the first address in that 73rd block? It is 73.0.0.0. So that will be the network address. Now, excluding that, the remaining one will be the host IDs. Okay, so 73.0.0.1 to 254, you will be getting it. Now, the last address, that is 73.255.255.255, it is meant for a specific purpose. Okay, so the first address and the last address of a particular block, you are not supposed to use for the host ID. The remaining ones, you can use it. The first address, always it denotes the network address. The meaning is, when a packet you want to deliver, the router knows only the network address. It is not knowing how many hosts is being connected. So it will be routing packet based on the network address. So first it will reach the network, then it will reach its host. Okay, so that is the concept. So what I told is, in classful addressing, we have considered class A, you are having 128 fixed blocks, and each block will be having a size of 16,777,260. Okay, so what you understand from this logic? See, you are having 128 organization, and each organization is provided with 16 million address. Is that much address is required for a particular organization? And also I have told class A is meant for a very large organization. Whenever you are considering a large organization also, these many addresses is greater than the needs of an organization. Okay, so it is greater. The number of addresses that is being provided is greater than the needs of almost all organizations. So what you can infer from this blocks is, in class A, much of the addresses are wasted. Okay, so each organization, 60 million addresses you have got. So what you will do with that 60 million addresses? So much of the addresses are wasted in case of class A addressing. Understood that much? The concept of blocks and how it is in class A, how it has been, what is the meaning of that? Understood? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, coming to class B. Now, class B, how many blocks do you have? In the table, it is written 16,384. And the block size is 65,536. Okay, now out of the total number of blocks, that is 16,384 blocks, some is reserved for private addresses. Almost about 16 addresses are used for private addresses. So the remaining ones, so if 16,384 minus 16, you will be getting it as 16,368. So that many address blocks can be assigned to an organization, right? Now, what is the first address of the class B? From where it will start? I know the range of class A was 0 to 127, right? So class B, it starts with 128. So 128 to 191, it is varying. So the meaning is it is having 16,384 blocks, and each block can accommodate an address of 65,536. Okay. Now, you know how many bytes are used as net ID and how many bytes are used as host ID in class B. How many bytes are used in class B? Out of the 4 bytes, net ID is, how many bytes are used for net ID?
2 bytes.
2 bytes. Okay, so here it is being shown 128.0, that will denote your net ID. And the remaining 2 bytes, that is 0.0, that can vary from 0 to 255. So the first block can accommodate an address from 128.0.0.0 to 128.0.255.255. So similarly, you can have 16,384 blocks. And the last block will be having an address 191.255.0.0 and 191. The whole 3 bytes will be 255. Okay, so I know class B is varying from 128 to 191. And the first 2 bytes, it is meant for the net ID, and the remaining 2 bytes are for the host ID. The meaning is net ID remains the same in each block. So first block will be having 128.0, the second block will be having 129.0, so it will be remaining the same. Okay, so the host ID can vary from 0 to 255. Now, I have told class B is meant for mid-size organization. Okay, so how many blocks you have? Eliminating that 16 private addresses, you will be having 16,368 blocks you will have. Okay, so the total number of organizations that can have this class B address is 16,368. And each organization can be provided with 65,536 addresses. Okay, so if mid-size organization are considered, this many addresses are also greater than the needs of an organization. Okay, so what inference you can get is much of the addresses wasted in class B also. Understood? Class A, you will have fixed size of blocks and fixed number of blocks and the fixed size. Class B also, you have got it. So when you are comparing class A and class B, much of the addresses are wasted in both the classes. Because a lot of addresses are being provided that is greater than the needs of a particular organization. Okay, so addresses are wasted in class B also. Okay, now coming to class C. Now, what you can see in class C. So class C, the total number of blocks is 2,097,152. And the block size or the addresses that is provided to each block is 256. Okay, so the addresses that is being provided for class C is 256. You just imagine you have 2,097,152 organizations, and each organization is provided with 256 addresses. So class C is meant for small organization. Whatever if it is small, each organization is having only a less address. That means one particular organization can have a maximum of 256 addresses only. So it is not satisfying the need of a particular organization. Okay, so class C block. So usually small organizations means you will be having many number of small organizations. So the 256 addresses, what it is being provided is not sufficient for usage. Okay, so much of the organization, they don't want address in class C. Now, it varies from the address size, it varies from 192.0.0.0 to 223.255.255.255. Okay, now out of that, how many bytes are meant for network ID? In class C, how many bytes? 3 bytes. So net ID is 192.0.0. That is fixed for a particular block, and the host can vary from 0 to 255. Okay, so the meaning is each block in this class contains 256 addresses. So the organization should be small enough. And the addresses provided to each block is limited in this case. Okay, so much of the organization, they don't want a block in this class C. So the number of addresses, what is being provided in class C is less than the needs of the organization. Okay, now, so in so the summary, what I have told this much time is the summary, the group, I mean the range, that is the class range of internet address of each classes is being shown. Class A, it varies from 0.0.0 to 127.255.255. So first byte, it is used for net ID and the remaining are for the host ID. Similarly, class B, the first 2 bytes for network ID varying from 128 to 191 and 2 bytes for the host ID. Class C, it is the 3 bytes for the net ID and 1 byte for the host ID. And class D, actually, there is one block of class D address and that is for multicasting purposes. And class E also, you are having one block and it is reserved for the future use. Okay, so this is the concept of blocks and classes. So what is the main drawback of classful addressing? You are having fixed number of blocks here. Okay, and the block size is also fixed. So much of the addresses will be wasted in cases. So in classful addressing, especially class A and B, a large part of the available addresses were wasted. Okay, so classful addressing is almost obsolete now and you are going with classless addressing. Okay, so that will be covering in 1 or 2 hours. Now, coming back to classful addressing, the next term what you should know is the network address. So network address is nothing but it is the address that defines the network. If you want to identify a particular network, you require that network address. Now, network address is nothing but it is a combination of your net ID and host ID being zeros as the host ID. Okay, so you can see network ID, it is a combination of net ID and host ID with host ID being all zeros. So in this diagram, you can see 3 networks. Class belongs to the one which belongs to class A, class B, and class C. Now, how will you identify the network address? I have told network address is nothing but the first address of each block. The first address of, so in class A here in example, it is shown 123.0.0.0. Okay, so that is usually used as the network address. And the remaining host, the remaining addresses will be meant for the host. And similarly, in class B, The first 2 bytes and the host ID being zeros, you will be having the network address and the remaining host will be connected. This is for class C. Okay, so a network address will be having both net ID and host ID with zeros for all the host IDs. Very, very important. If you want to identify the network address, the host ID must be zeros. Okay, so just an example. So I told all the host ID bytes will be 0. So network address, it defines the network to the rest of the internet. It is the first address in the block, as I have mentioned earlier. Now, if you have the network address, you can find the class of the address, and ulta also. If you are having some address, you can find the network address. Now, how is this? 3 examples are being shown. So the first example is 23.56.7.91. That is the address. You want to identify the network address. Now, how will we be identifying? First, you have to identify to which class it belongs. Here, the first byte you have to consider. It is 23. Now, who will be telling it belongs to which address? 23 means which class? A. Class A. Okay, so you have to identify first it as a class A address. Now you should remember in class A, how many bytes are used as net ID and how many bytes are used as host ID. How many bytes are used as net ID? Who will be answering?
1 byte.
1 byte. Okay, the remaining 3 bytes are for the host ID. So what you have to think is the 1 byte you have to exclude. So 23 you have kept it. Now the remaining 3 bytes are the host ID. So if I want to identify the network address, what I have to do is I have to make all the host IDs as zeros. Okay, so the answer, the network address will be 23.0.0.0. Understanding? If you are giving, if you have given an address, you can find out the network address by first identifying the class. Now you have to remember how many bytes are used for network ID and host ID. After that, depending on the number of bytes in the host ID, you make it as zeros. So like that, you can find the network address. Okay, now look on to the second example, 132.6.17.85. You want to identify the network address. 132, look on to the first byte, 132. In which class it belongs? Which class it belongs?
Class B.
Class B. So class B, identified as class B. Now, how many bytes are used for net ID? How many bytes are being used as net ID in class B? 2 bytes. So exclude that. So first 2 bytes is remaining the same. And the remaining 2 host IDs make it as 0. So the network address will be 132.6.0.0. Understanding how you are able to find out the network address if some IP address is given for you. Okay, now the third example, network address is given for you. You have to identify to which class it belongs. Okay, so network address is 17.0.0. You have to identify the class. So in order to identify the class, you have to look on to the first byte. So first byte, it is 17. So 17 means it belongs to class A. Class A, the first byte is only the network ID. Okay, so it belongs to class A. Understood this much? So this is the how you are able to find out the network address if some IP address is given for you. Okay, so I will summarize today's class. What I have told is the concept of blocks. Each class, in classful addressing, you can have fixed number of blocks as well as fixed number of block sizes. So whenever you are considering each classes, that is class A, B, and C, you will have 128 blocks, 16,000 blocks, and 2 million blocks. And the addresses, so that blocks means that many organization can be provided with that class address. And that block size means the size, the address that is being provided to each block. Okay, so if you are considering that in class A and B, you are not at all using all the addresses, so much of the addresses are wasted. But in class C, it is not satisfying the needs of the organization because it is provided with only 256 address. Maybe for small organization, greater than 256 may be required. So it is not satisfying. It is lesser than the needs of the organization. Okay, and also then I told about the network address. Network address is nothing but a combination of net ID and host ID, making all host IDs to 0. So network address will be always the first address of the block, first address of the each block. Now, the router, how the packet is delivered is the router knows only the network address. It does not know how many hosts are being connected. So with the help of the network address, each router will be routing the packets to a particular, some destination address is given, it will have a routing table and the network address will be there. So depending upon that, it will be routing the packets. Okay, understood this much? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Answer your attendance. Afla,
Present, Miss.
Ashwina,
Present, Miss.
Amaya,
Present, Miss.
Atulya. Atulya is not there. Drishya, not there. Jyotish. Jyotish is not there. Karthik, not there. Kavya,
Present, Miss.
okay. Nachiket, Neeraj, Rangeet,
Present, Miss.
Vaishna,
Present, Miss.
മിസ്
Vaishnav.
നീരജ് പ്രസന്റ് ആണ്.
പിന്നെന്താ പറയാഞ്ഞേ?
ആ ഫോൺ ഓണാന്നില്ല മിസ്.
Vaishnav, Anjali, Shruti.
Present, Miss.
Okay. So absentees, Atulya, Drishya, Jyotish, Karthik, and Anjali. Okay. Thank you. We will meet in the fifth hour.